Welcome everyone to today's cybersecurity video covering Domain 1 of the CompTIA Security Plus certification. This domain is one of the most important foundations in cybersecurity because before you can defend systems, networks, and data, you first need to understand the core principles behind security itself. Cybersecurity is just not about hacking or firewalls. It is about protecting confidentiality, integrity, and availability by managing risk in a constantly evolving digital world. Let's begin with one of the most important concepts in all of information security, the CIA Triad. The CIA Triad stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality means protecting information from unauthorized access. Organizations use tools such as encryption, access controls, passwords, multi-factor authentication, and permissions to ensure that only authorized users can view sensitive information. For example, when you log into a bank account online, encryption helps protect your personal information from attackers who may be trying to intercept your data. Integrity focuses on ensuring data remains accurate and unmodified. If someone changes financial records, alters medical information, or modifies log files, integrity has officially been compromised. Organizations protect integrity using hashing, digital signatures, checksums, and file permissions. These technologies help detect unauthorized changes and ensure information remains trustworthy. Availability ensures that systems, applications, and services remain accessible when needed. Even if data is secure and accurate, it becomes useless if users cannot access it. Availability is maintained through backups, redundancy, fault tolerance, disaster recovery planning, and protecting against denial of service attacks. The CIA Triad forms the backbone of nearly every security decision made within an organization. Now let's discuss threats, vulnerabilities, and risk. A threat is anything capable of causing harm to a system or organization. Threats can include hackers, malware, inside threats, natural disasters, hardware failures, or social engineering attacks. A vulnerability is a weakness that can be exploited by a threat. Examples include outdated software, weak passwords, unpatched system, or misconfigured firewalls. Risk is the likelihood that a threat will exploit a vulnerability and cause damage. For example, if a company uses weak passwords, attackers may use that weakness through brute force attacks. The weak password is the vulnerability. The attacker is the threat, and the possibility to compromise is the risk. Understanding the relationship between threats, vulnerabilities, and risks is critical in cybersecurity because organizations cannot protect against everything equally. They must prioritize based on risk. This brings us to the concept of risk management. Risk management is the process of identifying, analyzing, and reducing security risk to an acceptable level. Organizations perform risk assessments to determine what assessments are valuable, what threats exist, and how vulnerabilities may impact operations. Once risks are identified, organizations choose how to respond. There are four primary risk responses. Risk avoidance means eliminating the activity that creates the risk. Risk mitigation involves reducing the likelihood or impact of the risk through security controls. And risk transfer shifts the risk to another organization, such as purchasing cybersecurity insurance. Risk acceptance means acknowledging the risk and deciding the cost of fixing it outweighs the potential damage. Security professionals constantly evaluate these decisions to balance security, usability, and cost. Now let's move into security controls. Security controls are safeguards designed to reduce risk and protect systems. There are several categories of controls. Technical controls use technology to enforce security. Examples include firewalls, antivirus software, choosing detection systems, and encryption. Administrative controls are policies and procedures created by management. Examples include security awareness training, hiring practices, incident response plans, and acceptable use policies. Physical controls protect physical assets and facilities. Examples include security guards, locks, fences, cameras, and badge systems. Controls also can be categorized by function. Preventative controls stop incidents before they occur. Detective controls identify incidents during or after they happen. Corrective controls restore systems after an incident. Deterrent controls discourage attackers from attempting attacks. Compensating controls provide alternative protections when primary controls are not possible. Another major concept in Security Plus is AAA, authentication, authorization, and accounting. Authentication verifies identity. Authorization determines what the user is allowed to do. Accounting tracks user actions and activities. Authentication methods continue evolving because passwords alone are no longer enough to protect modern systems. This is why multi-factor authentication, or MFA, has become essential. MFA combines two or more authentication factors: something you know, such as a password; something you have, such as a phone or security token; something you are, such as a fingerprint or facial recognition. Using multiple factors greatly reduce the chance of unauthorized access. Next, let's discuss the principle of least privilege. The principle of least privilege means users should only receive the minimum level of access necessary to perform their job functions. If an employee does not need the administrative privileges, they should not have them. Limiting permissions reduce the damage attackers can cause if an account becomes compromised. Closely related is the concept of separation of duties. Separation of duties once prevents one person from having complete control over critical processes. For example, one employee may approve purchases while another processes payments. This reduces the risk of fraud and insider abuse. Now let's move into malware and social engineering. Malware is malicious software designed to damage, disrupt, and gain unauthorized access to systems. Common type of viruses, worms, ransomware, trojans, spyware, and rootkits. Ransomware has become one of the most dangerous threats today because attackers encrypt files and demand payment to restore access. Organizations defend against malware using endpoint protection, patch management, backups, and user awareness training. However, technology alone is not enough because humans are often the weakest security link. This is where the social engineering becomes important. Social engineering manipulates people into revealing sensitive information or performing unsafe actions. Phishing attacks are one of the most common examples. Attackers may send fake emails pretending to be banks, employers, or trusted organizations to trick users into clicking malicious links or entering passwords. Other social attacks include phishing, smishing, tailgating, impersonation, and baiting. Security awareness training is one of the best defenses against these attacks because educated users are less likely to fall victim. Another important concept is defense in depth. Defense in depth means using multiple layers of security rather than relying on a single protection method. For example, an organization may use firewalls, antivirus software, MFA, encryption, monitoring tools, and employee training all together. If one layer fails, additional layers continue providing protection. This layered approach significantly improves overall security posture. Now let's discuss zero trust. Zero trust is a modern security model based on the principle of never trust, always verify. Traditionally, organizations trusted users and devices once they enter the internal network. Zero trust assumes no user or device should automatically be trusted even when inside of the organization. Every request must be continuously authenticated, authorized, and validated. Zero trust has become increasingly important due to remote work, cloud computing, and sophisticated cyber attacks. And finally, let's talk about security awareness and organizational culture. Cybersecurity is not just the responsibility of the IT department or security teams. Every employee plays a role in protecting information systems. Organizations with strong security cultures encourage employees to report suspicious activity, follow policies, and remain aware of emerging threats. Continuous learning is essential because cybersecurity evolves constantly. New vulnerabilities, attacks, attack techniques, and technologies appear every single day. Security professionals must remain adaptable and committed to lifelong learning. To conclude, Domain 1 of Security Plus introduces the essential building blocks of cybersecurity. In this course so far, we covered CIA Triad, threats and vulnerabilities, risk management, security controls, authentication, malware, social engineering, defense in depth, zero trust, security awareness. These concepts form the foundation of everything else you will learn in cybersecurity. Understanding these principles is critical whether you plan to become a SOC analyst, penetration tester, security engineer, network administrator, or cybersecurity manager. Thank you for watching and welcome to the world of cybersecurity. Make sure you like and subscribe in this video and look forward to the next videos coming up. Thank you.